Previously on the Great Ace Attorney 2. Miss Green, is it not the case that in order to exact revenge on Mr. Shamspeare, you smeared poison over the end of the gas pipe? I'm not going to be sent to the gallows for the likes of this scoundrel that you broke into the man's room! I thought I'd have a look around, that's all. You know, get to know my husband's murderer. So she knew about the stuff on the floor. Yeah, we discovered it too. Oh, did you take something? Oh! And I said, give it. And she's like, tough. And I'm like, make me. And she's like, okay. Alright, let's resolve this case. Code. Hey guys, welcome back to the Great Ace Attorney 2 Resolve. In the last video, we found out some crazy stuff. Big connection between a couple of characters that happen to be taking the same lodgings in a room where this guy was blowing gas and suffocating them in their sleep. And it's just morbid, let me tell you. Tool by two, he was arrested by Scotland Yard. Yeah, okay, so now we're talking about Selden, who's the guy who died in prison. I see. And it just so happens that the convict Selden left behind one very substantial mystery when he died. Right, and he left behind, like, the mystery of the stuff that he burglarized. Is that the word, burglarized? It's not burgled, even though I think that works too. There's some 1,000 pounds worth of loot that he stole. I mean, that many burglaries, you would think he would have gotten more than 1,000 pounds worth, but, again, you know what I'm going to do? Okay, so 1 pound is $1.22. Yeah, so that's not that big. That's like $1,200. Then again, though, this is like 100 years ago. Maybe that was, I don't think inflation was that bad, but anyway, it remains to be found. Ah, yes, of course. It's coming back to me now. It's written in this file here. 1,000 pounds lost en route to hell. That was how the papers summed it up. It's pretty poetic. And it seems that one particular fellow inmate was with the convict in his final moments. It's not hard to imagine Selden in trust. Oh! So, that would make sense. Yeah. Shamspeare was the cellmate. Was he dressed like that back then? Oh, you mean this key is... It's worth more than you know. Mr. Shamspeare, it was you, wasn't it? You were the capital offender's side when he died, were you not? So what was he in prison for? No. What are you talking about? This is a false charge, I tell you, a false charge! The name of the inmate who was with Selden at his death isn't noted in this file, but a simple telegram to the prison where he died will quickly tell us how false the charge really is. Man, you need email! Oh, email's so good. Well, it's instant messaging or something. It's just so much easier to do stuff nowadays, isn't it? But even if it's true, why would the man be so intent on killing every subsequent occupant of the convict's lodgings? And I need to blow my nose. Why would the man be so intent on killing every subsequent occupant of the convict's lodgings? There's only one explanation for that, my lord. So they don't, like, find out. It was in that very room that Selden hid his loot. Really? I mean, if that's the case, why not just go up there and get it when the person's gone or something? Maybe he didn't know where in the room it was or something. So he kept killing people so he could have time to search. So it all comes out. Yes, and having established that, all of Mr. Shamspeare's subsequent actions start to make perfect sense. When he was let out of prison following Selden's death, he made immediately for Mr. Garrideb's lodgings in the hope of renting Selden's old room. However, the retired army man was unable to offer him the accommodation of his choice. So he kept killing people, hoping he could be transferred up there or something? Because Selden's old room had already been let to somebody else, Mr. Duncan Ross. Wow, what a bad stroke of luck. Which is why Mr. Shamspeare subsequently devised... How many times can we say subsequently? Devised his gas-based plot to kill the occupant of the room. And when he was successful, he presumably intended to inquire about switching into the newly vacant room. However, a certain jittery someone had beaten him to it. Mr. Sosuke Natsume, the defendant of this case, no less. So you decided to use the ploy with the gas again, didn't you, Mr. Shamspeare? This time to oust Mr. Natsume. Oh, God. All for one simple and avaricious reason. To get your hands on the 1,000 pounds of loot left behind by the dead convict. I think we just got him, dude. Yep. That sounds like a win right there. Is it, though? Man, what we've gone through to get to this point. We haven't spoken to the jury in, like, an hour. Looks like I'm gonna snuff it before they get to stretch me neck. Listen, I want you to have me loot anything to stop the coppers getting their mitts on it. It's in the room where I was lodging when they got me. This is the key to it. Take it. Always stay one step ahead, mate. See you in L, I guess. Shamspeare, yep. Oh, man. Wow. Jeez, I'm so... I don't know. It's mine. That loot is mine. Whoa! How many different faces can this guy make? Mr. Shamspeare, oh man. It's all lies. I don't accept any of it. Why should I? After all, you don't have a shred of evidence. You can't prove I killed that fellow. Forsooth, I'm the victim here, remember? Isn't that right, ladies and gentlemen? Oh yeah, that's pretty much the look on my face. If I don't admit to it, there's nothing you can do. You can't arrest me. You got some vertigo or something? I don't know what's going on here. For the time being, anyway. Verily, you can't arrest the victim, can you? Isn't that right, ladies and gentlemen? I don't know what has happened to his voice. Wow. Next we get to see 2 and 5. I'm so close, I just need a few more hours. I swore to myself that I'd get my hands on it, and I can almost taste it now. Do you really think I'd just give up? Who would have thought when you first saw this character there'd be this much to him? There's no question in my mind now, this man is guilty through and through. But he seems so utterly intoxicated by the idea of that loot. I'm afraid that however hard you press him, he'll never admit to what he's done, Mr. Naruhodo. Do we need him to admit it? I mean, it is just speculation at this point. Yeah, there is a way. Pardon? There's one way I can finish him. Finish him! No. He's already committed the most heinous crimes to get his hands on that loot. Which means all we need to do is find it first. Oh! A fine plan. Were it not for the fact that the police thoroughly searched the room following the death of Mr. Ross. If it's there at all, it must be very well hidden indeed. We go on a treasure hunt here? Without conclusive evidence, I certainly cannot rule. If only there was some way we could find the convict's loot quickly. I thought he was about to cough there. This is the final piece in this complex puzzle. But I think we might have it in our possession already. Really? I need to look at the evidence again. I think we might have something that can help us find where that loot is hidden. Excuse me, Your Honor. My lord. Yes, counsel. The defense would like to make a proposal. How to find the late convict's hidden loot. I believe we are already in possession of something that could give us a clue as to its whereabouts. I don't know. It's our last chance, so it has to be worth a gamble. Besides, we've used the same technique once already. It definitely paid off then. Huh. Same technique? I'm a little bit lost here, and I'm not gonna lie. What do you propose we can use in order to locate the hiding place of the deceased convict's hall? It's not gonna be that, or that, or that, or that, or that, or that. Or that, maybe? Maybe. We'll put a maybe on that. Victim's medical report. Oh, maybe like the handprint thing? I mean, that would tell us where he had looked, but maybe that would also tell us where he hasn't looked. Honestly, I think my best shot is this.
Take that!
That's right. If I'm not mistaken, those are Mr. Shamspeare's handprints on the wall of his lodgings that I said was inadmissible. Why are you bringing this up again? That's right, my lord. Exposed as a result of the defense's independent investigation of the scene. Independent investigation. Based on a wonderful new discovery in the field of forensic science by the great detective Mr. Sholmes. Be quiet, be quiet. Oh, great detective. Is that some kind of joke? Do you really think I'm going to be daunted by a man with such a ridiculous title? You're one to talk. I should think the great bard ought to recognize such a title when he hears one, Mr. Shamspeare. Who said that? Oh, hi there. Perhaps we should compete for the honor of most ridiculous title. Ah, 'tis Herlock Sholmes himself. What are you doing here, great detective? He called him great detective, wow. Your usual haunts are the filthy back streets of the capital, are they not? Ah, Mr. Reaper, it's been too long. And I see your complexion has worsened since we last met. Mr. Sholmes? He does know Lord Van Zeeks then. Well enough to say something like that, in any case. Yeah, these two go way back now, huh? Mr. Sholmes, though you may be heralded as a great detective by the population at large, I don't give a shit about you. That does not give you the right to come and go in my courtroom as you see fit. If I may, my lord, he's the great detective, and this is a forensic scientist. He's a... Oh, wow. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Clues, you say? I call them skin prints, my lord. My method identifies every location touched by an individual under scrutiny. It's the method by which we were able to ascertain this gentleman's gas pipe activities. You need only a small sample of something the individual has previously touched to make an indicator solution. In your case, sir, I used the teacup you have been holding. Elementary. So now, Mr. Naruhodo, cool pointing poses. What am I to use as a sample to make the indicator solution this time? Thank you for offering to help, Mr. Sholmes. When the convict was arrested, he was living in what is now Sosuke-san's room. We need a sample to help locate Selden's loot. It's hidden in his old room. What form will the sample take? My first thought was the key because he touched it, but that would have been a long time ago. I don't know if that's still usable. A person. A sample to help locate Selden's. So we said you need something with his fingerprints. I'm pretty sure we don't have anything in evidence, but I don't know about a purse. This is kind of weird that this is an option. I'm gonna try this. We will need something of Selden's in order to create the indicator solution to find his loot. And something the convict owned happens to be in the possession of somebody listed in the court record. Uh-oh. So which particular person do you have in mind? From whom can we obtain a possession of the late convict Selden? There they are again. Like, I'm telling you, it's 4 or 5 times a day they come down that road, I tell you. Yeah, I think it's her, so she's got the key. Miss Green, guess what? Me? What do you want with me? The key around your neck, if you please. Sorry. He's just like, what? That key belonged to Selden. There will be remnants of secretions from the man's skin on its surface that we can use. That's so weird, though. Like, that would... I'm surprised anything would still be there. You will get more of the secretions of her than him. That is the sample we need. Using it, we can create an indicator solution required for Mr. Sholmes' skin print seeker. And find out exactly what Selden touched in the room that he used to rent. But wouldn't that also be, like, everything? I don't know. Mr. Shamspeare, as one so great to another, I assure you. If the late convict's hall is hidden somewhere in his former lodgings, I shall uncover it in no more than 30 minutes. Huh. He's very torn up about this, we must be onto something. Mr. Shamspeare, the truth is well within our grasp now, and as such, you will never get your hands on Selden's stolen wealth. It's gonna be us that takes it instead. Or maybe give it to her. In that case, I'll gladly let Mr. Sholmes have this key. Huh? No! Give the key to me! You killed her husband, you really think... You have no bargaining chips in here whatsoever, sir. It's over, Mr. Shamspeare. It's over! No. No. You're out of options now. There's only one thing left for you to do. Admit your guilt. Admit what you did. Admit it. Admit it. Admit what you did. Admit it. Admit it. Oh, Shamspeare! Despair! Here's the breakdown. Be thy name, crotch! Oh, God. He's got blown out of the air. Like that chick from the grammar retort. Yep. Oh, took your hat off. Nice. I never intended to kill the man. I just wanted to drive him out of the room. That's all. So you'd have time to find the convict's haul of stolen goods. I know, that's stupid, but, well... Yet after you'd killed the young man, you still didn't move into the room. Well, I had stuff to do. I asked the landlord, of course. I pleaded with him, but he refused. Why? I was 3 months behind with the rent, for one thing. That's true, he did say that, yeah. And he had the gas repair work done immediately afterwards, putting the room out of action for a while. And then, this Japanese man swooped in just the right moment, to sign the new lease. Poor Mr. Natsume, what unfortunate timing. Then 5 days ago, after the incident on Briar Road, when the Japanese fellow got himself arrested, I thought I'd finally have my chance. But it wasn't to be. No, the scene was sealed off and guarded by the police night and day. And if I remember rightly, Mr. Sholmes spent the whole day in there reading books. Oh, that stupid asshole in his books. I couldn't even rent the room, let alone search for the loot. Which is why, on the day Mr. Natsume was acquitted and returned to his room, you once again tried your trick of blowing air into the gas pipe to feed the stove in his room. Unbeknownst to you, however, that action would lead you into a deadly trap. Yeah, I know, you don't have to remind me, you don't have to regale my fail tale. William Shamspeare, how does it go? To be or not to be? That is the question. From Shakespeare's Hamlet, Act 3, Scene 1. Oh, damn! Oh! He's educated. Well, let me tell you, in your case, it's not to be. That is the answer. You deserve to die for what you've done. Damn. No holds barred, man. Oh, Finkel and Einhorn. Einhorn and Finkel. Wow, so we don't get to, like, turn all 6 jurors to our side? Don't we still have to do that? I assume they'll do it at the end. Like, this must be it. At first I really did think it was just a terrible accident. I'll never forget our conversation the night before Duncan died. Oh god, they're gonna go break our hearts now. The gas supply in my new lodgings are a complete disaster, you know, Olive. The gas supply? Yes. The stove always seems to go out in the middle of the night for some reason. So he, like, did this several times then, not just once. They say it's the convict's curse. Oh, Duncan, please, don't stay there. Don't care how cheap it is. Alright then, if it's that important to you, I'll start looking for a new place. There are spare rooms in my house. Why don't you leave that horrible room tonight? Wait. There are spare rooms at my house. Why don't you leave that horrible room tonight? No, I better not. We said we'd wait until we graduated before we told our parents, remember? But that was the last time we ever spoke. That very night, he fell victim to the gas. If only I'd known it was going to happen. I'd insisted he left that horrible room that instant. But instead, all I've been left with is bitter regret. I stopped going to school, but something kept drawing me back to the house on Briar Road. I saw a stooped, Eastern-looking man with a mustache coming out of the house one day when I was there. He walked up the road to Grubb's Grubbery for some food, so I followed him, and sat myself down next to him. He had some watery-looking soup and started to pick a quarrel with a publican? Not to be confused with a Republican? Yeah. The place is cursed, I tell you! Cursed! The ghost of that convict who used to live there is trying to suffocate me! I wake up in the middle of the night, freezing to death because the stove has gone out. The room is full of gas, and I can hardly breathe. But the pipes have been checked. No problem there. It's like, I'm the problem. That's what they're thinking. How could that be? Duncan was gone, and now this man had almost suffered the same fate. Could it really be a curse? So that's how she knew then, yeah. And I remembered a rumor I'd heard about the gas companies. A rumor I'd heard about how the gas companies go around investigating the gas installations. A rumor? Ah, you mean... Yes, everybody's heard the stories, it seems, about how they go around checking the pipes. How anything connected to the gas can be extinguished by blowing air into the pipework. That's when it started. A little flicker of doubt in the back of my mind that just wouldn't go away. Was it really an accident, though? Once I'd had the idea, they wouldn't leave me alone. They plagued me day and night. So I bought this at one of the black markets in the East End. Black market? Oh boy. I've never been. I just heard people talk about them. And you really can buy anything you can think of there. Huh. I read that kind of awkwardly. In some ways, being able to get my hands on this so easily made me even more determined. I had to find out one way or another. Was Duncan's death an accident, or was it murder? And your chosen method for establishing the truth was simple, but highly effective. Smear poison on the gas pipe you suspected the man of tampering with in a way... Oh, I see, yeah. Well, she wasn't trying to kill him, she was just... But, like, the only way that it would have killed him was if he was trying to kill someone else. So, another interesting situation. If Mr. Shamspeare was innocent, nothing would come of what you'd done. But if he was guilty, he would pay for his crimes dearly. Almost. Still on the box. I found out the name of the man I suspected, William Shamspeare. What kind of a name is that, anyway? And then I wrote him this little note. She wrote him the note. I know what you did. I have information regarding the death of Duncan Ross. Come to the Slug and Salad on Briar Road. Don't tell anybody else about this letter, or the meeting. It is a matter of utmost importance. Hey, I said it right that time. If he'd done it, I knew that would worry him enough so he'd be sure to go. So I waited to see if it worked. Wow, that's pretty genius, actually. And of course, Mr. Shamspeare followed the instructions to the letter. Of course, I think hypothetically, even if you hadn't murdered anybody and you got a note like that, you would probably still go out of curiosity just to try to set things straight or whatever. But, whatever. I worked out where the gas pipe was straight away. So I smeared a good amount of the poison I'd bought all around the mouth of the pipe. All the time praying that the devil's work wouldn't be done, and that it was all just some wild fantasy. But then one day he turned up poison. Oh, it's always crazy to think about, like, the first time you saw his body, what were you thinking then? What might have caused it? You think it's probably something simple, but it never is. It never is. All the time praying that the devil's work would be done, and that the culprit would get his just deserts. Yeah, I get that. Who would have thought it would come to this, though? Man. Aw. Man, just gotta see everybody. And by that I mean everybody. Slow fade out. Wow. Bonk. 3 days ago, when you were first stood in the dock before me, this whole affair seemed relatively straightforward. Yes, my lord. I certainly never imagined the depths of depravity that we should be I can't read for shit. I certainly never imagined the depths of depravity that we would subsequently find lurking behind the scenes. It has been a long road, my Nipponese friend. Oh, yes. And one I certainly didn't envisage walking with you. Envisage? Nevertheless, together we have reached the light at the end of the tunnel, as it were. Miss Green? Yes, my lord? You will henceforth be stripped of your... Oh, God, please. Oh god, dude. Oh. I don't know how I feel about that. Oh man, I personally don't think she should be punished at all. Because, like, she set something up in so far as, like, in a way where the only way it would work is if they were trying to kill someone else. It's like setting a trap for, you know, if someone tries to break into your house and you set up a gun that shoots at the front door if they walk in. You'd probably get off because the person's, like, trespassing. In this case, she should get off because he was attempting murder. Oh. But at the same time, though, like, he did say he was only trying to drive them out. He thought if he blew out the pilot light, it would get cold and they would just leave and try to find somewhere warmer. So maybe he wasn't really trying to kill them either. I don't know. It's a touchy one, I tell you. And you, Mr. Shamspeare, you will be tried for the murder of Mr. Duncan Ross in cold blood. Cold blood, no pun intended. And the subsequent attempted murder of Mr. Silsky Natsume, your present. Oh, Mr. Naruhodo. Ah, yes. Yes, what is it? I almost fell asleep over here. Yesterday at the hospital, when you and your friends stopped me from... I know. From ending your life by drinking what was left in the poison bottle. I wasn't myself. I can't even really remember what was going through my mind. Probably for the best. To be or not to be, I suppose. Get busy living or get busy dying. That's a question that's so hard to answer, it seems. Well, personally, I'm glad of your being here, Miss Green. Oh, are you really? I'm just another client. I'm not even your client. I'm just some random passerby. And I like to believe that it's a blessing Mr. Shamspeare didn't die when he ingested the poison. For your sake, at the very least. Yeah, I suppose so, because if he had died, well, we still would have had a case, but... Oh, look. Because of you, I chose life, not death. And now you've made the truth come out, at last. Really, I can't thank you enough. Oh, you've always been so good. All her eyes are glistening. Like I have any room to speak. Mr. Sosuke Natsume. Yes, my lord. The court declares that you are exonerated from all blame in this matter. Accordingly, I would call upon the ladies and gentlemen of the jury to present a verdict of not guilty. We are full agreement, my lord. Let's do it then. In that case, I hereby declare the defendant... Wait, they don't get to do the... Oh. Well, I guess now the scales are already... Look like they're in a position of 6-0. Huh. I think they were still at 4-2. Okay, whatever. It's still cool. We did it! Wow. Hell yeah. There's one more in the bag. 2 down, 3 to go. Court is adjourned. Count is adjourned. That one part. I can't believe on, like, what was it, Apollo Justice? Where he accidentally says, Count will now reconvene. I left it on that screen for the longest time, and I didn't notice that it said that. And I was just like, whatever I was talking about, I'm sure it was something stupid. Well, defendant's antecedent. Here we go. Oh, yes. Yes. At last. Divine justice duly done! Wait a minute. There was a J in there. Divine justice? My dear fellow, if there were any divine justice in this world, you would shave that mustache. Holy shitballs! No, this has nothing to do with my mustache. Or my teeth. Some say that a luxuriant mustache is a sign of physical prowess, Mr. Sholmes. Oh. Welcome, student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire, once again. Oh, you've saved me. From doom. I'm very happy to have been able to help Mr. Natsume. Congratulations on your acquittal. Congratulations on a normal day that most people get every day. You're second in almost as many days. They'll just never stop coming after me, will they? I was first acquainted with and gained affection for English literature whilst in our great homeland empire. And then, by twist of fate, I was brought to the land that bore the fruit of that literature. Only, the city of bricks and mortar became my prison. Try as I might, I never found my feet here. In the end, I confined myself to my room and lived life through friendly old books. You've had such a difficult time, haven't you? Ah, but a week ago now. I dragged you out to that dark and dingy room of yours, did I not? You did, you did. And I've seen more of life in this week than in all my years to date. And for the first time, I feel I've begun to see the true face of the English that's so far been hiding from me behind a wall of fog. Lots of fog. My dear fellow, there is nothing special about the true face of the English, as you put it. Wheresoever one goes in the world, humans are human. There are few genuine differences. Yes, I think you're right. I finally started to see that, and I've come to understand something. Oh, I've worked out why I was attracted to English literature in the first place. It made me see that whatever our nationality, we humans all have the same hopes and fears. We're all just doing our best to live. Well said. Come to feel the same way. Too bad Asogi didn't get to do that. I made a decision too. I want to be your assistant, your other assistant. I'm going to cut short my study tour here and return to Japan. What? Yeah, more power to you, dude. Just when we become friends here in England. What a terrible shame. You're not gonna miss him. No, I'm just kidding. Oh, I know, that does tug at my heartstrings, it really does. But I decided I'd like to take everything I've learned here in Britain and write something of my own. A novel of sorts, I suppose. Call it The Greatest Eternity Chronicles 3. Oh my, so you'll be creating your own literature, Mr. Natsume. How wonderful! Oh, well, no, I mean, I wouldn't presume to call it literature. Oh god. Oh man, my lip has a crack in it, and when I laughed there just now, it hurt. That was hilarious. He kept his teeth on as he turned his head. That's the funniest thing ever. Why not? When that is precisely the definition, Mr. Mustache. I suppose you're right, yes. It will, in a way, be literature. But as of now, all I know is that I'd like to try my hand at writing. I have no delusions of grandeur. I, for one, would love to read your work. Aw. Well, all things considered, it may be for the best. After all, you have once again emerged victorious. Victorious! From a battle with the Reaper. Ah! Oh no. But now that suspicion, or that, shit. It's not suspicion. And there is no salvation for a person in the dock when the Reaper is the prosecutor. Don't say these things. You're gonna get under his... The desire to return post-haste to the perceived safety of your homeland is one I quite understand. Understand? My goodness, yes. Faced with such a terrifying prospect? Nobody would consider that cowardly, I'm quite sure. Not me! But that's... That's not why I'm leaving! I mean it! Objection! Wait, is that his objection? Somebody's. I think it was. And that was the case that we found ourselves embroiled in 6 months ago now. Sosuke-san did indeed return to Japan, and submitted a report about both cases to the government. It was on reading that report that Professor Mikotoba was prompted to visit the scholar. Barely any time later, Susato-san was given... Hey, he called her Susato-san there. Was given the news that she must return to Japan as well. On the back of a telegram stating falsely that her father had fallen gravely ill. Yeah. The only possible explanation that comes to mind is what happened after the trial on the following day. The day that we uncovered the loot, hidden by the now deceased convict in his former lodgings. What? Is the loot going to be something from, like, Case 5 of the previous game? Like those discs we had? They were like, oh man. Jeez Louise, I haven't seen this place in a while. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you only saw this place in the first game. I don't think we've seen it yet in this one. Well, the gas stuff is still there. Everything's pretty much the same. Well done, Mr. Schultz. How simply marvelous of you. To uncover the secret hiding place in just one day. Wasn't it supposed to take 30 minutes? Yeah. As I believe I told you, my dear fellows, skin prints are extremely useful in such situations. Wouldn't you agree, Gregson? What am I doing here? Oh god, okay. Still eating the piss and shit. I keep forgetting to move the text forward when it's just ellipses. Gregsy's been happily munching in agreement this whole time, you know, Hurley. Happily? I think perhaps humorlessly might be closer to the truth. So, it transpires the man fashioned a hiding place in the ceiling. What's in it? What exactly is the loot? Let us look then, if you're ready. Let's examine the late burglar's haul. I've got a bad feeling about this. What is that? Huh, oh, there's blood. There's blood on that. It looks to be some sort of neckband or collar. Oh, it's even worse. The collar? It's huge, though. And look at all the gemstones set in it. I can see why it was claimed to be worth £1,000. Perhaps I could have it as a belt. Ugh. Oh, have you noticed on the inside there? There are some dark stains. Mm-hmm. You don't think they could be blood, do you? I mean, there's quite a lot of it. Ah, I should have figured as much. On second thoughts, perhaps I won't have it as a belt? No. And of course, there's this emblem here. A large letter B and a small crown. I don't remember any names from the first game that might be this. I don't remember half the names from this game already. What does it signify, do you think? Oh, I hadn't noticed that. Like, it's not a Soge, that doesn't start with a B. It's not Sherlock Holmes, it's not Iris, it would be her. It's Dr. John Watson, John Wilson. Well, in the books, it's John Watson, is what it's supposed to be. It's only because of, like, copyright crap that it changed it to Wilson. I feel as though I'd seen that emblem somewhere before, you know? Where could it have been? Is this like, what was that guy's name? That Inga guy, that big Hurley guy, that like chunky guy. That's enough of that, I think. What? What's the matter with Mr. Sholmes? All the color is drained from his face. Okay, so he knows something. Well, Inspector, I believe you ought to be taking this, aren't you? Could be valuable evidence, after all. It must be kept safely under lock and key. Just like it was before. Ah, yes. Get your grubby hands off that, you lot, and hand it over now! Well, all we got was a glimpse. B. I have seen that, I'm pretty sure. Never seen a collar that large before. And all those jewels certainly look to be extremely valuable. But that's not what stood out the most to me. At least not once I noticed it. Those dark marks on the inside of the collar, those stains. Could they really have been blood? I'm more weirded out by how the blood would have gotten there. You know, put that on and like choke somebody to death? I don't know, or stab somebody while they're wearing it? I don't know. Well, that's what's a funny case, wasn't it? But it's all buttoned up now. And you look very pleased, Iris. I am, because I was starting to wonder what I could use as the basis of this month's story in the magazine. But now I know. This case will be perfect. It's been so fascinating. Have you been there and seen all this? You're talking about the latest installment of The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, I presume. No, I don't write about that dude anymore. The Mystery of the Knife in the Mist, and The Mustache Man, and The Convict's Curse, perhaps. And the gun. Let's not forget the gun. I can make it a two-part story. Oh, I can't wait. A word, please, Iris. Yes, what is it, Hurley? I'm sorry, but you can't write about this case. It's out of the question. Yeah, they mentioned this before. He kind of like said, no, we can't go public about this. Well, why not? It's a great case. Then I shall have to insist that you limit yourself to the first of your two titles. The second must never be written. Is that clear? Ooh. We've never... Aw. Oh, her little eyes are doing the thing.
And so it was that the second of Soseki-san's cases became buried in obscurity. Now, looking back, I feel I understand. I can see why Mr. Sholmes forbade Iris from publishing the story. It would take a little longer before I saw the link between everything that had happened and would happen. For it wasn't until 2 months after the arrival of Susato-san's letter that events began to unfurl again. With an incident that took place at the very heart of the eagerly awaited Great Exhibition of London.
I need to go back and check that guy out, whoever that was. That guy that we met, like, when we first came to London. It was the guy who, like, he would put his arms out and birds would fly across behind him or something. Ooh, the Key of Knowledge awarded. Hey, cool. Save your current product. I didn't know there were achievements in this. Yeah, definitely save. Well, I don't know if that's like a whole video there, but I guess... Well, we can always do the preview thing. So I guess next time we're going to episode 3. Wow, dude. Okay. Why don't we take a look? Let's just look. Oh, no, we're fine. Yeah, I want to see. So for episode 2, episode 1. Okay, then. Let's check it out. Start playing from the start of this episode. Return of the Great Departed Soul. Huh, what do we got? Oh, wow. God, he's so good with just the presentation of this game has been astounding.
End of the century Great Exhibition of London. Surely there is not a soul who has failed to hear of it. Wondrous new works of culture and industry from every corner of the globe had converged on Hyde Park, welcoming over 50 million visitors.
Holy shit.
The last great hurrah of this century. Astonished and delighted people of all nations, and ended on a note of resounding success. But as regards to the terrible catastrophe that occurred during the festivities, very few are aware my friend Mr. Herlock Sholmes had a hand in unraveling the matter. For from the shadows, it was he who earnestly unearthed the facts of the case.
Yeah.
And like the centerpiece of the great exhibition, which rose high into the skies of Hyde Park, Sholmes's brilliant deductions, as clear and lofty as the Crystal Tower itself, brought the truth to light.
We're here at the showground of the Great Exhibition, which is absolutely packed with people.
Oh boy.
The weather is unusually fine, and we're about to witness a most extraordinary scientific experiment.
Uh-oh. Oh, man. I guess this is what was considered crowded back then. But 50 million people? That's 5% of 1 billion. So that's like I don't know what the population was in 1920 or whatever. But even today, that would be 1/7 of 5%, whatever that is. 5/7, so that would be right around 0.7% of the entire population. Scientific experiment. Oh my god, who is this?
Ladies and gentlemen, the 20th century will see steam engines and electrical power dominate the world. Horse-drawn carts will give way to the motor car. Ships will sprout wings and take to the skies. And today, we showcase even more advanced technology. A glimpse into the future. A world first. A demonstration of my super high voltage instantaneous kinesis machine.
Jeez. That might be a little too ahead of your time there.
A man will literally be disassembled by a pulse of high voltage electricity and beamed to another location.
Okay, we still can't do that.
Whereupon his body will be reassembled by a series of complex calculations exactly as it was before.
Oh, jeez, they gotta volunteer for this? Oh, man. This poor soul. Oh my god.
In but a few moments from now, this gentleman will, in the blink of an eye, complete an incredible journey through the air. To arrive an instant later on the Crystal Tower behind you!
Oh, this is nuts. Oh my god. Holy shit, dude. They're like gonna cut away before they show the results of this, aren't they? Or there's just gonna be a big blood spatter everywhere. Yeah, shouldn't he have to take his clothes off or something? Oh no. Oh my god, that was a blood-curdling scream there. Oh, yeah, of course. No, we don't get to see the results. It's gonna be a big blood spatter. Oh man, I tell you. Oh, this is good. Yeah, it's funny. Okay, so like, This episode's pretty much over, but that made me think of something. Wait, let me see where we're at on time. No, 46 minutes, okay. So, like, it's funny how you think about when you were born and how much science advances while you're here. Somebody who was born long enough ago that they got to see, like, cars and planes get invented and things like that. And eventually, like, 50s and 60s started the great rock music and everything. Like, you would probably think, as a person like that, like, wow, I was born into the best possible time to see, like, the most important progress that man would ever make. But that's how I feel. Because I was born in 1976. So, basically, the Bee Gees were everywhere. Music was being made, radio stations. I mean, I wasn't really around for AM radio. Maybe that was still a thing a little bit. And it kind of still is now for a very niche group. But, like, FM radio, cassette tapes. I wasn't around for 8-tracks, really. And my dad had some, but for the most part, it was cassette tapes by the time I got into music, and then CDs, and then DVDs, and then there was, like, Blu-rays, and there was, like, DVD players, there was DVRs. I've seen so much stuff in my life, and it makes me think, that, like, especially when the internet was, like, the boom. The internet is probably the biggest thing that has ever happened, or will ever happen to mankind, and I was there to see it, and it came along right at, like, the best years of my life, from 18 to 21. I was right there. And, like, obviously I didn't really get it until, like, I had to go web TV and start with that and all that. But it's weird to think, that those people who are watching that thing there just now in the game, I mean, they probably thought that, like, they were seeing the most important advancements or the biggest advancements or the fastest. But now it makes me wonder, what if somebody who was born just, like, this year, like, what are they going to see? And it really makes you wonder, because we've done so much in the last 100 years that it's mind-boggling to even think about, like, what are they going to do in the next 100? I don't know, but that's something I think about, like, all the time, and I thought I'd just bring it up there just now. So yeah, anyway, next time on the Great Ace Attorney, we will go into Case 3, and holy God, I could do bigger monologues like this more often, maybe at the end of episodes. Maybe I should, I don't know, because that's always fun to do that. But yeah, it's just not that often, though. I guess that something really hits me that I have to say like that, but that's just one of those things. Alright, see you guys later.